loaded yourself. I mean, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was very strange because it was real quick, and then, well, I mean, we were riding together, and I get spooked pretty easily, so, like, we started talking a lot more, and our plan was we were going to stop at the beginning.
We're going to have fun with you.
He wouldn't get out of the car.
I mean, you guys were walking around, and I'm, a little more cautious, I'd say. I kept the windows up. So
Chris and I are like running around in the woods, and he's like, no way, windows up.
Cautious is not always a bad thing.
Very safe driver also.
Hey, there's a lot of people in this group when we get out of the van and the first goes on it, mainly me. But, so.
I went up behind me and started rocking the van.
Just remember when the police shows up, you look at him and say, "Officer, I told him not to do that."
Out in the car,
I am the good one.
Right.
I told him not to.
And we've learned that if you yell dogs, 80-year-old women will be like, world-class hurdlers, jumping over gravestones, running them in.
And then you got to
Right,
sit
and
there.
then talking about Pat. I was talking about Pat. Yeah.
When you say you call dogs.
No, him and his dumb little friend did. German Shepherds run.
We're at a cemetery, Pattern Cemetery over in Fort, Holy Chapel, sorry. And the cemetery sits up on this hill. And we walked up the hill, and we were already scared anyway. We went with another group, and the leader of that group had told us that the last time he went out there, that one of the neighbors actually came out with a shotgun and told them to get off the property. So he said, be mindful, watch, while you're out there, make sure you keep an eye on stuff. Don't let it get out of hand. So we were out there doing our hunt. We let the police know we were going to be there and all that. Well, the neighbors were out having a little bonfire down the road, and we could see them, and they had their dogs out there. Somebody got the bright idea in the middle of the hunt to yell dogs, and you just see 30 people jumping tombstones trying to get back to the car.
Was that you?
No, I kept it on.
Kurt doesn't run.
I was the only one that didn't run.
Doesn't run?
Kurt doesn't run.
One of the members of our group actually got in the cars, locked the doors so nobody else could get into the cars. So they're all beating on the door. Needless to say, none of the dogs were coming at us or anything. They were down on the other side. But it scared everybody.
Well, after that experience with Cujo,
It was fine. He just wanted to play.
yeah, he wanted to play. So,
When a big St. Bernard comes up to the van and like brushes against it, the whole van rocks. You know?
I don't think he wanted to play.
Oh yeah. We just going out there.
Yeah. I think that place is more active.
That's one of the most active that we had so far. Yeah. Called Munchkin Land. It's a little abandoned church.
Heard about it.
Yeah.
All that place. I mean, we had so much activity out there. I mean, I don't think we've ever went when we haven't had something happen there. I've got photos from the inside of the church. We took it with a 35mm camera. We actually have the negatives. We can see 2 doves flying up on the back wall. There was nothing in the church. There's no, nothing on the wall. We checked that. There's no birds in the building yet. We got pictures of them flying. So we've got that. We've got mist outside. We're seeing that next to the side of the church building. It's got mist all over the place. And there was a completely clear day, nothing out there, I mean, it looks like the cigarette smoke all over. One of our members got touched. He was standing there, we were doing EVP towards the back end of the cemetery, and something walked up and poked him on the side of the head, and everybody else was on the other side. We actually caught that on film. He's all jumped up, moved back, and something was touching him. We've seen faces up in the bell tower. That's one of the only places I've actually ever run from. Me and my friend were out there, went there one night, and we just got out of the van, just the 2 of us, and we just got to the gate to go into the cemetery, and it looked like a helicopter spotlight opened up right in the center of the cemetery. I mean, the whole area lit up, and we didn't stick around to find out what was going on. It scared both of us enough to get back in the van and go. Seriously, it looked like a flash grenade went off in the center of the cemetery. There was no noise, no sound, just a big bright light went off. Like I said, that's the only time I've ever actually run from an investigation. We didn't feel right in the area. So, but yeah, it's a very active location. We get a chance to hunt up in that area.
Where is it again?
It's called Munchkin Land. It's in between Dowagiac and Niles.
Okay.
It's you take Old Indian Lake Road. It's where Frost and Brush Lake tease right there.
Yeah, I remember. No way you would go out there.
Oh, it took us a good 3 weeks to find it. We have the legend. The only thing they told us is it's an old church and graveyard off Old Indian Lake Road. That's all the information we have on it. Indian Lake Road's a pretty long road. So we went out every night for like 3 weeks straight for 2-3 hours at a time, just driving that area trying to find it. And it took us 2 or 3 weeks and we finally found it. Yeah. That's before the internet and all, MapQuest and all that stuff.
I guess one last kind of thing is, just again in regards to, because our documentary is mostly about not hunting maybe the wrong term, like investigating a Primrose Road. And so now we have the legend and we have some advice, and we know what kind of happens. But just in general, when you're on a paranormal investigation, what are some of the, if you say you're a drunk teenager with a Ouija board, what are some of the consequences of not being careful, being disrespectful, and we're going to get these, so.
You'll bring someone home with you.
Nope. Okay, wait, hold on a second, let me get you framed up.
You will bring a friend home,
Hold on a
a
second.
spirit home.
Good, sorry.
You will bring something home, because when I first started with this group, I went on a couple of runs. 3 weeks later, things started happening in the house, and I had to have someone come out from the group, fortunately, and help cleanse the house. And now, I will never, never, never go out unprotected again. Ever. You will bring someone home. Don't let
Take him home.
No, he can stay out.
Do you have any sort of, just going down the line?
Basically, when you're messing with a Ouija board, you do not know what you're gonna bring in. Basically, it works kind of like a gateway, and it basically opens up a doorway for paranormal to cross over, and you have no idea what you're gonna bring. And especially if you're out there and don't know what you're doing and just screwing around, they're out there partying, drinking, whatever, and doing the Ouija board. There's no telling what they'll bring through, and yeah, something can follow them home, something can happen there. Depending on what they bring through, some spirits do get physical with people. They will scratch them, hit them, push them over, and basically just cause complete chaos.
In your opinion, do you think there could be serious injury caused by it?
Yes.
Sorry, can I get the full sentence? So
The
it comes out near
the injury may not necessarily come from the spirit. They could be on a hill, they get shoved from behind, they roll down, they smack their head on the stump. So the spirit itself, the most it physically will do is probably push you, scratch, hit you, but maybe hard enough to leave a mark or a lump. But that's about it. Any other damage would come from, be collateral damage from you falling over and hitting something, or
Being
screaming like a
scared to
girl and
death.
taking off and smacking into something.
Anyone else have any add-ons?
The Ouija board was not made to be a game, and that's what a lot of kids think it is, that it's a game, that you can just play and it's all happy hunky-dory, and that's not what it was made for. To
So
begin
what
with.
Parker Brothers so.
It's not what it was made for, it's not what it's for, it's not just fun. Take it seriously and it's fun, but play with it and you never know.
We have used Ouija boards before in the group. It's not something that we use all the time. It's not something that we endorse anybody to use. Unless you've been properly trained with it and know what you're doing, and if you're not taking it completely serious, then I would say stay completely away from it. Don't touch it. But I did the research. I know how to use them. I know what to look for. I know how to protect yourself, do the cleansing and stuff like that. What we normally do for the group, if we are planning on using it, we make a post on the board, let everybody know that we will be using the Ouija board on that hunt. If it's in somebody's home, we have to make sure we're from the owners, stuff like that. And then it's normally a very small group of people that we will allow to use it, 3 to 4 people max. And we will always keep it serious. We'll always do an opening and closing ceremony for it. Make sure nothing gets out, nothing's going to stick around. And mine is not from Parker Brothers. I have a really nice wooden one.
Yeah, does it glow in the dark?
No.
One of the other things on the Ouija board, like we said, it works as a gateway. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can open that gateway and not know how to shut it. And then, if they get spooked or whatever, they burn the Ouija board, and then there's no way to close that doorway. And then you usually have to turn to a priest or something like that in order to rectify that problem.
best thing is just to ask the spirit to leave. Most of the time, a spirit will listen to you. I mean, if you say, I don't want you here, please leave the area, please leave my house, they will get out. You can do a smudging, take sage, burn it around your house, open up all your windows, start walking around your house, and at each window, ask it to leave, close the window, all the way up to your front door, ask it to leave, close the front door. Sprinkle sea salt around your house, that's another way to ward them off. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different, wives' tales and stuff telling you how to